What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Lions franchise here on Madden 22, featuring that PS5. Gotta get that next gen action, of course. And we are here, man. We are here with yet another road game for us. We did win last week against Pittsburgh Steelers, but we have a tougher test ahead of us here. We have the Cleveland Browns, who are 6-4 as of right now. They do have a very elite offense. They have a 91 overall offense, man. So that could be some trouble for us here, man. As we go ahead, get ready to set up this the game plan for us here, how we want to go ahead and attack, how we want to go ahead and play. And listen, they like to run the football. They got Nick Chubb on this team, man, and I don't know about you, but I'm thinking I might want to go ahead trying to defend the inside run this time around, because they are doing such a fantastic job of running the football, and that is something that we will have to think about as we approach this Browns offense. I think that might give us the best chance of victory. They are the second best running team in the NFL. And then how we want to go about on our side of the football, whether we want to go ahead and try to throw it or not. Do I want to try to run it inside, or do I want to run it outside? I think I'm going to go ahead trying to get the run inside game going. They have kind of struggled with that. One of the few holes that they do have. So yeah, man, I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. We'll see how that turns out for us. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this road game going between us and the Cleveland Browns. Should be a good one here, man. So make sure you smash that like button, hit me up down in the comments, and shoot, if you're brand new to the channel and haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, man. You know I love, interacting with new people that come through to the channel, man. Don't be shy now. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can pull the upset on the Cleveland Browns. Let's get it. So with that being said, we certainly know that we have our hands cut out for, or we have some work cut out for us here for sure, as we knew this was going to be a problem going into this game. The rushing attack of the Cleveland Browns, but we got to make sure we don't overcommit, but because we do know that Baker Mayfield can go over the top if he wants to. And speaking of Baker Mayfield, he does end up finding one of his receivers in Jarvis Landry. And it's almost a first down, which they will end up picking up anyways from Nick Chubb. We do end up, at the very least, limiting his gains, seeing what he could do. But a first down is still a first down at the end of the day. Is now 1st and 10 coming up here. Baker dropping back, gonna throw a dot over to the left-hand side, and OBJ ends up making a big catch downfield. And these Brownies are on the move here in the red zone now. First drive of the game is now 3rd and 6. Baker throwing to the right-hand side again, this time going out to Kareem Hunt, who nearly gets it into the end zone. We will stop them at about the 1-yard line. And a couple plays later, they use that vaunted rushing attack to get to the outside, and Nick Chubb, he's going to find the end zone. It's a touchdown for Cleveland. No surprises here. So yeah, we need our offense to really step up in a big way. I certainly have a feeling that this is going to go into a shootout. And that's one way to get it going here on the offensive side of the football. Go to one of your best skill position players in T.J. Hockenson. Get a huge first down for us downfield, taking advantage of the rookie from Northwestern, as we will hand it off with DeAndre Swift. He'll play a pretty big role in this game as well. This man deserves an X factor based on how he's been playing so far this season. I hope he gets some kind of challenge at some point in his career for him to increase his dev trait, because he's been great for us here so far. Jamal Williams takes it right up the gut, his first carry of the game, going for a gain of 17 yards. As we have another 1st and 10 coming up here. Goff in the shotgun. He's looking around, trying to find somebody to get open. And we find Tyrell Williams in the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. And that's how you respond after you give up a long touchdown drive yourself, marching downfield. And we just went ahead and tied this game up at 7 apiece. Let's see if our defense can return the favor now, as there is simply a lot of weapons that this Cleveland Browns offense has. Whether it's Jarvis Landry, whether it's OBJ, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Shoot, they even got some pretty athletic tight ends in David Njoku and Austin Hooper. And Baker's not too bad himself, but we do end up getting to the quarterback here, Trey Flowers, getting his first sack, and that's one way to help us out. Get him into a long third down here. We got 3rd and 24 coming up for us here, as Baker will throw out to the right-hand side, gets it out to one of those tight ends, Austin Hooper, and it's a pretty big gain, but I mean, you need to pick up 24 yards. That simply wasn't enough. So we will go ahead, punt this football right back over to us for right now, as DeAndre Swift does end up cutting upfield for a nice gain of 8. Is now 2nd and short now coming up as Goff throwing over to the left-hand side. It's a little bit underthrown for Tyrell Williams, but he does end up at the very least making that catch for the first down. And we're able to march downfield because of it, as our offensive line, I gotta say, is doing a pretty good job themselves, as we are approaching the end of the first quarter here. Looking for one more run, and DeAndre Swift able to find a nice hole, get across the 50-yard line. That's going to actually end the first quarter of play as of right now. We got a pretty good one here. Can't wait to see what the rest of his game has in store for us. So we go ahead now and get the second quarter now officially underway, as Jared Goff will drop back, trying to throw it, tight window. Quintez Chavez making the catch for us, thankfully. I am happy about that. Not the best decision for Jared Goff, but does get us in a position where on a 3rd and short, we can just simply run the football, and he's going to be able to go ahead and pick up the first down for us here, as we have another 1st and 10, trying to set up the play action. Another tight throw. TJ Hawkinson, though, able to come down with that football. If they moved up a little bit more, that was going to be an interception. But now we got another 3rd and long that we got to deal with here, as Goff dropping back. So going to go ahead and just dump it off to DeAndre Swift, and he cannot make any men miss. The Browns do a really good job of rallying to the football, but it does set up a pretty easy field goal attempt here for the rookie kicker, Matthew Wright, and he's able to sink it right through in there. The kick is good, and we will go ahead and take our first lead of this game. But let's see here if our defense can go ahead and keep this lead going for us here, as this Browns offense continues to decimate us a little bit here. Let's see if they can stand up and get the job done. They got a 1st and 10 now coming up. Baker Mayfield gonna go ahead and throw a dot over to OPJ. He's straighting downfield, streaking it, and he gets him all the way into the red zone. The Cleveland Browns looking to take the lead right back here, as we get him to a 3rd and 6. Baker dropping back, eventually gonna have to throw it away. Our coverage does end up holding up, though, and because of that, we will force them to go ahead and take a field goal of their own. Granted, their kicker is certainly better than what it has been in years past, and the Browns will go ahead and respond, get a field goal themselves, but we get the bend but don't break mentality going and hold them to just a field goal, keep this game tied, as we hit him with a play action on our next possession, trying to get it out super sharp Harriman, but that is going to be incomplete, though. The first incompletion of the day for Jared Goff, as Goff will drop back again, this time gonna find one of his favorite targets in T.J. Hawkinson, and he gets him into Browns territory, sitting at about the 35-yard line. Big play for the Detroit Lions, Is now 1st and 10 coming up. Goff dropping back, facing some pressure, has to get out of it. Almost threw himself an interception. So now 2nd and 10 coming up. This time we will keep it on the ground, and it's a nice little gain for DeAndre Swift. Goes for a gain of 6, and that will at least make this a more manageable 3rd down situation here. Although we will still go ahead and try to, pass this football as Goff looking around, trying to get it out to DJ Hawkinson one more time. But Greg Newsom II. No, actually, Ty Hill. I thought that was Greg Newsom's number. My bad, y'all. But either way, it is an interception for the Cleveland Browns. And just not a great decision. Trying to throw it up for the tight end. Give him a chance, but just wasn't good enough. But good news for us, though, it doesn't kill us in the long run because we do at least force them to go 3 and out on that following possession. So we do have the football right back. We got a couple of timeouts that we also get to work with here as well. So just trying to be smart here as we almost get intercepted again. But now 3rd and short coming up. Goff ready to drop back. He's looking around. Throws it short over the right-hand side. TJ Hawkinson will be tackled. That little dive tackle animation got us there, but we still got the ball in Cleveland Browns territory as we scramble to the left-hand side. Get it out to Brashard Perriman, who makes a nice play downfield. 3rd. Well, actually, I thought it was a complete pass, but it looks like they overruled us. So we actually have 3rd and 6 here. But look at this. Very next play, we connect with Quintez Chavez into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. And we're moving ahead, getting a 7-point lead. And if we can hold them out for the next 30 seconds, we do get the ball to start the second half. Things are looking good for us. We got to take care of business the next few plays, though. That's the biggest thing that matters to me. So now, 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield in the shotgun. It's a bunch set on the right-hand side. Gonna go ahead, throw it downfield, and it's almost intercepted. Will be considered an incomplete pass. Is now 2nd and 10. Baker throwing again to the left-hand side, and it's intercepted by Dunbar. He's going to try to take it all the way back. He's going to be stuffed inside the 5-yard line. Let's go, baby. That's a huge play for us there. You want to talk about seizing momentum? That's certainly how you go ahead and do it right there, although the officials are going to go ahead and review whether he actually stayed in bounds or not. I thought he stayed in, but the officials did end up disagreeing. So we did not end up getting any points on that possession, unfortunately. And we will go into the halftime. We're still up by 7, but that kind of sucks. So we will go ahead and take a look at the scores around the NFL as of right now. Checking in first on the Packers and Vikings. And it's a pretty close one there in Minneapolis. 2 teams fighting for NFC North supremacy are tied at 21 going into halftime. Although elsewhere in the country, the Buffalo Bills are starting to assert themselves on the Indianapolis Colts. The Bills, with a 6-3 record, looking to pull away from the Colts there. And then one of our own NFC North opponents once more, the Chicago Bears, putting the Baltimore Ravens on upset alert. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our own matchup here as we are getting ready to go ahead and start the second half. And one thing that I really want to do, because I didn't really do it all that much in the first half, is I do want to go ahead and try to establish this run game a little bit more often. More specifically, get DeAndre Swift more involved, because we know he's a bad man. And almost saw it right there. DeAndre Swift dropped that pass in space, unfortunately. But 3rd and 4, though, we're going to try to run it back once again. And I accidentally tap instead of, just holding down to DeAndre Swift's button so I could actually throw a bullet. So that one's actually on me. I can't even blame that on Jared Goff, to be honest with you. But yeah, this was a really easy interception for Cleveland. And not only that, but that also does go ahead and give them some fantastic field position to work with as well. And almost right from the get-go, OPJ is going to take advantage of single coverage on the outside. And now all of a sudden, this game is going to be all tied up here. It's all tied and 17 apiece. So let's see if Jared Goff can go ahead and make some better decisions in terms of what kind of throw he wants to use. But first, let's go ahead and see what DeAndre Swift can open this game up a little bit for us here. And that's a really big run for our tailback. That will certainly help things out for sure. As we got a 1st and 10 to work with, looking to try to convert on the slant pattern. Getting it out to Brashard Perriman on that inside slant. That is going to go for another 1st down. He's been getting some action too as of late. Is now 3rd and short coming up here. As we have 4 wideouts going out. Goff looking to the left-hand side. Gets it out to Brashard Perriman. Makes the 2nd catch here of this drive. And it's another 1st down. And gets us into the red zone here as well. Let's see if we can punch it in here. As we got a 3rd and 5 coming up. Waiting for the linebacker to clear. It's Tyrell Williams. Ends up finding the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. And we'll take the lead once again here. Tough throw. That was a tight window, but Tyrell Williams winning the one-on-one matchup. And we will once again have the lead here, as it's now Baker dropping back on a 2nd and 9, but it ends up being fumbled. And Brad Hand is going to walk this thing into the end zone. Another touchdown for your Detroit Lions. And we certainly did a very good job of generating pressure, and the rest was history there. Now we are really starting to go ahead and assert ourselves in this ball game. And now for the first time, we got the Browns down by multiple possessions. That's exactly where we want them, because as great as the Cleveland Browns offense is, if we do make Baker pass the football a little bit more often, that does give us a better chance of success, rather than just simply allowing them to rely on that running game. But, you know, right now Baker seems up to the challenge, so he gets a couple of completions in a row before hitting things off to Nick Chubb, who does slice us right over the middle, ends up picking up a 1st down. As now 1st and 10 once again. Baker dropping back, going over to the left-hand side, but it's intercepted again. Trey Flowers this time getting involved in the action. He has a sack earlier today, and now he has an interception to certainly go along with that as well. And just bad timing between him and David Njoku. Baker thought he was going to keep going, but Njoku ended up stopping early. So now another opportunity for us here to go ahead and really seize momentum. And that's exactly what we are going to end up doing, as DeAndre Swift ends us getting into the end zone once again. And Penei Sewell's feeling it as well. He tries to jump into the crowd, but the dog pound was certainly not okay with that whatsoever. I wouldn't be either. And it ends up being yet another, touchdown for the Lions. And we're up by 21 now, and it's just feels great, man. This is the best game that we have played all season long so far. And that will certainly be the case if we can finish, as we do have a 3rd and 1 coming up here, as they'll hand it off to Nick Chubb. And it's some really tough running. We did a really good job of trying to corral it in there, but the offensive line getting just enough push there to pick up that 1st down. But that being said, we do go into the end of this 3rd quarter, get those 4s up. Let's see if we can finish the job. So let's go ahead now. 4th quarter officially underway. We got them to a 2nd and long right now, as they do end up going ahead and throwing short over the middle, but Kareem Hunt actually ends up getting hurt off screen. So we will go ahead and see, what all of that is all about. But that being said, we do have a 3rd and short here. They actually are going to try and pass it. We contain really well and will end up getting to this quarterback. Once again, this time Akora able to get in there, make the tackle, and now they have another 4th and long. Let's see if we can get the job done. 4th and 13, trying to play back so we don't get beat deep as Baker looking to go one-on-one, looking for OBJ, and it's brought it away by Dunlap. And we will end up getting a turnover on downs. We will end up with some phenomenal field position to work with as well here as we throw to the right-hand side. Get it out to Brashard Perriman. And now if we really wanted to, we can really try to go ahead and try to, get a little bit more time off this clock. If we can get another touchdown, that would obviously be really cool, and I won't complain. But if we can get more time off the clock so we can, really close, the pipes around the Cleveland Browns, that would be phenomenal. As they have, and it's been a little bit of a surprise that we're playing this well too, to be honest, because they are a top 5 defense. They got some guys, that can get after this quarterback. There is a pretty complete roster overall, all things considered, but we found a way, to make things happen, and I'm certainly not complaining whatsoever. But we will end up having to settle for this field goal once again, though. We do extend the lead, and look, we got a little bit more time off the clock as Matthew Wright does go ahead and sink their field goal right through the center. He's been such a nice kicker for us. I really love him. But now we know what's going to happen next. The Browns are going to have to pass the football a lot here. We basically take away this running game. But that doesn't mean that they can't do some things on offense here as well, as Austin Hooper actually fools Jamie Collins. Thought he was going to cut outside, but he gets us with that move to the inside, and it's a big gain because of it. Although trying to set up a halfback screen was a different story. So now, 2nd and 10 coming up here as Baker will once again drop back to pass, and once again ends up finding his receiver, Jarvis Landry. And now the Browns are in Lions territory. We'll see if they can take advantage. As now, 3rd and long. Baker dropping back, facing some pressure though, has to get out of the pocket. It ends up getting sacked once again. Let's go, baby. 4th sack of the day. We're finally getting pressure on this quarterback. It feels so good to do that. As now, 4th and 15 coming up here, looking to attack downfield. That's a little bit inaccurate. OBJ couldn't get to that one. And we will end up taking back over. And now we have an opportunity to really go ahead, get some time off the clock, and potentially, end this game without them getting the ball right back. But we still have to pass the ball occasionally, right? Just to make sure that we do end up keeping them off balance. And look, I know this game is going to be essentially over, but I'm looking to be a little bit on the petty side right now. We said at the beginning of the season when Dan Campbell came over to the Detroit Lions, we're going to come out here, we're going to take some kneecaps on the way up. They try to kick us down, but we got ourselves back up, and we certainly took a couple kneecaps from this Cleveland Browns squad here today. Best game that we have played throughout the course of this season. I am so proud of this team straight up and down. But it's 4th and 9 though, and yes, I know we don't necessarily need this field goal, but you know what? Since we're already in the position, we might as well do that. We'll tack on a few more points. Call me a terrible sport, do me whatever, but I know there's a bunch of other people where if they're playing somebody in Madden online, they would do the exact same thing. So why should I go about showing, that same mercy? So anyways, we end up winning this game 44-17. We came out and made a statement. So how about this football team, man, getting our biggest win of the season so far? We demolished the Cleveland Browns by a score of 44-17. You absolutely love to see it, and it was just good performances all around here. Let's be honest here, man. Running, passing, defense, it was all happening here, man, as we check out the stats for our guys in this game. Jared Goff had a pretty good game overall. 16 for 23, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did have 2 interceptions. One of them was I pressed the wrong button. So really is like 1.5 interceptions if you want to think of it like that. But Jared Goff did have a good game, led us to the dub. And then how about DeAndre Swift? This man is just an absolute monster. 28 carries, 204 yards, had a touchdown as well. This man has been borderline unstoppable. If this man does not go to a Pro Bowl, I'm going to be highly upset, man, because this man has been killing it these past couple of weeks. As for our receivers, receivers received a little bit more action. We threw the ball a little bit more in the first half than what we usually do, but Tyrell Williams, 4 catches for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then Quintez Chavez ends up finding the end zone as well. He had 3 catches for 58 yards. But the man with the biggest day today didn't find the end zone, but had a huge performance here. 4 catches and 107 yards. You love to see those 100-yard games from our tight end, man. As for our defense, our defense, didn't have a ton of tackling that it needed to do today, but it did a really good job today overall. Jamie Collins and Jeff Okudah both tied for 3 total tackles on the day, so I certainly like to see that, moving forward. We also did a really good job getting to this quarterback. We had 4 total sacks. Julian Akura had a sack. Javavi Tavai had a sack. Deshaun Hand had a sack. And then Trey Flowers, one of the best players on our defense, from an overall standpoint, also had a sack. So we got 4 sacks, and it just feels good to go ahead and pressure the quarterback, man. And speaking of Trey Flowers, he also did have an interception in this one. That was the only interception that we had in this game. And we also ended up forcing a fumble. Jelani Tavai ended up with a forced fumble. And look, Deshaun Hand got a fumble recovery and was able to take it into the end zone for our sole defensive touchdown of the day. So, like I said, this is probably the best game that we have played in this dynasty. And on top of that, got that defensive touchdown. So I'm feeling really good, and I hope you guys do too. And how about this? For the second consecutive week in a row, DeAndre Swift does end up with the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. 28 carries, 204 yards, 1 touchdown. Also had a couple of catches for a few yards as well. On top of it, this man is a beast. Watch out for him to be the next superstar. I hope he gets the opportunity to get an X Factor, man, because he has really proven that he can be one heck of a running back here in the NFL. That's for sure. But with that being said, next episode, we will face the Chicago Bears for the second time this season. And things get really interesting for sure. So, it's going to be a good one. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you have to be brand new to the channel as well. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.